Good afternoon. It's 3:37, and the regular session of the Planning Commission, City of Lancaster, please come to order. Tonight, I'll offer the invocation, and Vice Chair Derryberry will lead us in the pledge. So if you'd all please stand. Lord God, as we are meeting here today to consider Planning Commission matters and deliberate outcomes, guide our hearts and our minds in the spirit of fairness, right thought, and speech. Impart your supreme wisdom upon our activities so that our endeavors may reach fair conclusions. We also pray today for the Lancaster community to keep it safe, secure, and prosperous. We're grateful for the dedicated community development staff members who prepared our agenda materials today. Thank you for being our source of guidance. In his name I pray. Amen.
Amen. If you could remain standing, face the flag of our nation, and repeat with me. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now the roll call, please.
Roll call. Chairman Vos. Chairman Vos.
I'm here.
Vice Chairman Derryberry.
I'm here as well.
Commissioner Burke.
Present.
Commissioner Carrillo.
Present.
Commissioner Hernandez.
Present.
Commissioner Latanzi.
Present.
Commissioner Underwood. We have a quorum.
If you'll notice from the roll call this afternoon, we have 3 new members who are joining us. And we had 3 members retire from the commissioner. Commissioner Moore, Commissioner Burden, and Commissioner Loa, and we thank them for their service. The members today, I'm going to, I hope not embarrass them, but ask each of them to share with us a little bit of background if they care to. They're not obliged to, but Ms. Latanzi?
Hi, I'm Denise Latanzi. I've lived in Lancaster since 1997. This is the 3rd commission I've had the opportunity to sit on in the city of Lancaster, and I'm really proud to be here. My background's in nonprofit development and management, and like I said, I'm just happy to be here serving the city of Lancaster, and I will do my best to fulfill all my duties here. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Hernandez, God.
Good afternoon. My name is Cynthia Hernandez, and I've been in the Antelope Valley since 2000, so for almost 20 years. It's where I've raised my family. It's where we built our businesses, Family Tax Inc., La Michoacana. It's where we've been able to deeply root ourselves in the community. I now have 3 children, 5 grandchildren, and I've been married for 30 years. And I also have the privilege of serving our community on the Antelope Valley High School Board and also as Criminal Justice Commissioner. And it is an honor to be here today.
Terrific. Commissioner Burke.
My name is Ben Burke. Been in and out of Antelope Valley since 2010. Retired out of the Army in 2020, and I'm just happy to be here. Hopefully build this place up and give a lot more opportunities to the community.
Thank you all, and congratulations on your appointment. First, public business from the floor. Any person who would like to address the Planning Commission on any agendized item is requested to complete a speaker's card, which are in the rear of the chamber, and present them to the end of the dais. There's a little box over there next to our council. And when the item is called, we'll call upon you. Typically, applicants have adequate time to present their project. That's after staff makes its staff report. The applicants may or may not choose to speak to us. It's entirely up to them. And then ultimately, we'll call on those individuals who have filled out a speaker's card. So, first action item tonight are the minutes of our regular meeting of July 21st, 2025. Have a motion, please?
I'll move that we approve the minutes from the regular meeting from July 21st, 2025.
Thank you. Second, please.
Second.
Thank you. Make sure you turn on your mic.
Thank you.
It's been moved and seconded. Please vote. There we go. Good. Seems like we have technical difficulties, so while they're sorting it out, oh, there we go, almost. So we're not delayed. All those in favor, please state aye.
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 Any opposed? None. Motion passes then 7-0. We have 3 new public hearings tonight. The first public hearing is the consideration of revocation of a conditional use permit number 23-005 and the deemed approved status of alcoholic beverage establishment, a location known as the King Bar. So without objection, the public hearing is open on this matter. Mr. Nguyen is presenting on this tonight.
Yes, I am.
And you were kind enough to provide the commission with additional background information.
That's
Thank you.
correct.
Go ahead.
If you'll give us just a moment, Chair. Thank you.
Are we not recording? We are recording? Okay.
All right, good afternoon, Chair Vos and members of the Planning Commission. My name is Hai Nguyen. I am the Acting Assistant Director for Community Development. The first item is in regards to the revocation of conditional use permit 23-005. That is for the King Bar. So this item was previously heard by the Plan Commission on May 19th. Here is a quick refresher. So the existing bar, which has been in operation for many years, is located at 2822 East Avenue I. The site is located just north of the Lido Mobile Home Park and the Sunrise Estates Mobile Home Park, near the southwest corner of 30th Street East and Avenue I. The property is zoned commercial. So the bar is considered a legal non-conforming existing use at the site, and per the Lancaster Municipal Code, or LMC, this grandfathered status is referred to as the deemed approved status of the alcoholic beverage establishment. What grandfathered means in this case is that the bar use has been in existence before either the code or the city. The King Bar took over in November of 2020. Here are a couple plans just to help orient yourself. The left is the site plan. The parking lot is shown at the top left corner. And to the right is the floor plan of the main bar building. So back in June 2024, that's last year, The Planning Commission approved CUP 23-005. The CUP allowed the King Bar to have indoor and outdoor entertainment and events. The conditions of approval were written to ensure adequate security measures were in place, ensure that the operation is nuisance-free, require compliance reviews by staff, and establish protocols in the event that this operation is found to be in violation of the conditions of approval or city code. The applicant, Mr. Sam Maeda, accepted these conditions of approval. Due to a series of events, the Planning Commission directed staff to conduct a condition compliance review in March of this year. In May, the Planning Commission held a public hearing on this matter to consider the revocation of those two components I mentioned of the CUP for live entertainments and the deemed approved status of the alcoholic beverage establishment. There were 9 speakers in support of the King Bar, meaning not in support of the revocation. There was a discussion about the building permit status and the calls to service as well, and I'll have an update on each of those. Ultimately, the commission voted to continue this item until today's hearing and table the discussion. So, per condition number 12, staff is required to conduct a compliance review. And here's a quick overview of the condition compliance. The Community Preservation Division has received 0 new complaints about this site and the use. A building permit was filed and was approved, and it's pending LA County fire clearance. The building permit includes the construction of the block sound wall and also to legalize the billiards building in the back. This is a requirement per the conditions of approval of the CUP. A separate demo permit will be required to remove the unpermitted shade structure. According to Lancaster Police Department, within the last 15 months, there have been a total of 11 calls for service. Calls for service means 911 calls to the Sheriff's Department and other non-emergency related calls. So these calls are summarized in my staff report. And to summarize the calls again, the calls range from altercations involving patrons and employees to calls unrelated to the bar operations. On March 1st, an incident occurred on site involving assault with a deadly weapon, with at least 3 victims and suspects in custody. Previous to that, in December of 2023, there was a similar incident which is still under investigation. The applicant is found to be in violation of these conditions and code sections of the LMC for failure to ensure a nuisance-free operation and being detrimental to the public health and safety. Specifically, condition number 19 states that the commission may vote for the immediate revocation of the CUP. Based upon those facts and incidents, these are grounds to revoke the 2 components of the bar operation, which is A, the CUP 23005 for live events, and then B, the deemed approved status of the alcoholic beverage establishment. That is the grandfathered status of the existing bar. For this continued hearing, public noticing was not required. However, all noticing were distributed again by staff, which includes a signpost, newspaper ad, and mailings to the surrounding neighbors. Staff has received a total of 3 emails regarding this item, and those are included as attachment F. A second email from Sunrise Estates was recently received and in the packet. All emails express opposition to the bar operation, stating concerns with noise and safety. The applicant has since submitted a letter to the Planning Commission, included as attachment G. The letter describes their effort in increasing safety and security, and their request to add a condition to extend the condition compliance review by the city staff for 5 years in lieu of a revocation. So to summarize, and staff's recommendation remains the same as it was in May, which is to recommend that the Plan Commission adopt resolution number 2506 for the revocation of CUP 23005 and the deemed approved status of this alcoholic beverage establishment known as the King Bar, and to find that the action is categorically exempt per the California Environmental Quality Act, or CEQA. That concludes staff's presentation. We are available for questions. I believe the applicant, Mr. Maeda, and his team are present and ready to speak when you're ready. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Members, you may have questions of staff before we proceed with.
I have one question. Condition number 19 speaks to the planning commission voting for immediate revocation. So if we were to vote, let's just say yes, what happens? Does it move forward to another commission, or is that the end of the discussion?
Commissioner Carrillo, thank you for your question. If this body were to vote in support of staff's recommendation, which is the revocation of both components of it, it basically ends there. Now, keep in mind that with any planning commission decision, the applicant, or anyone else for that matter, are able to submit an appeal with the city clerk. They pay the fee, submit a letter to appeal the decision, and those decisions will ultimately be seen and heard by the city council.
Mr. Nguyen, you summarized, I think, a 15-month window of calls for service. Do you have anything a little bit more narrow than that, maybe from the March incident to current? Sorry, put you on the spot.
No, just a lot of paperwork. Thank you for your question, Vice Chair Derryberry. The only thing I really have, and we actually have Chief Armelin here to answer any of those questions, but what I wrote in my staff report is on March 1st, 2025, there was an incident, a call with an assault with a deadly weapon, and it involved patrons of the site. The incident actually happened in the parking lot rather than the building. So from what I understand, it happened very quickly, and the suspects were in custody. I think there were a couple injured victims taken to the hospital. The deadly weapon is a gun, a pistol. I don't have much more than that. Argument in the building, which transitioned to outside, and that's when the sheriff's department came.
Just to clarify, when I was reading the staff report, you talk about the 11 conditions, those are the same conditions that we saw in the original public hearing.
That's correct.
And just a editorial comment, most of them, other than possibly 2 or 3, were not really related to the direct operation of the facility.
That's correct, Chair Vos. And I should add, since the last meeting in May, there have been 3 additional calls for service. 3 of those incidents, as I summarized in the staff report, are unrelated to the bar completely.
Right.
And I try to specify which are related to the bar and which are not, because I believe that's an important distinction.
All right, thank you.
And our options are a few. We can either take the staff's recommendation to revoke both A and B, or we could do either of that. Well, we can't do either. We can do A. We can revoke the conditional use permit 23005, but leave the deemed approved status of the alcohol beverage establishment intact. Is that correct?
That is correct. You could do all, one or the other, or nothing.
I have a question. So if we were to decide to deny the conditional use permit but leave the deemed approved status in effect, that would basically mean that they could no longer have any events outside of the building. So no concerts, no, nothing that would particularly disturb their neighbors around there. It would be back to just being a straight indoor bar with a very set capacity limit.
That's correct, Commissioner Latanzi. The bar would stay, and or the restaurant component of it as well, if that's the commission's desire.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? No? All right then. The applicant's here, I'm assuming, or the representative? Mr. Media, welcome.
Hi, good afternoon, good evening, sorry. Good evening, Chairman Foyce and Planning Commission member. My name is Sam Zghaib. I'm the owner of the King Bar, location 2822 East Avenue I, Lancaster, California 93535. We are here today to deciding about two things, about the security and about the permit. Ms. Danielle, my worker, and she to explain about the security plan more than me. And Mr. Ryan also from Duke Engineer, he will explain about permit. And also I'm here for any question or I'm ready for it. Thank you for your time, guys.
Thank you. And your name, please?
Danielle Santiano. Good evening, Chairman Voss and Planning Commission. We're here to listen to your concerns and ready to address them. Here are the measures we have implemented to enhance safety and security. We have had added more security, a Coast Patrol unit monitoring our premises. All of our security have their credentials. Additional lighting has been installed around the facility to improve visibility. Our security team includes both male and female personnel to ensure a comfortable atmosphere for all. An ID checker is stationed at the entrance to maintain a secure environment. We have established a barrier in front to help manage the line effectively, especially during peak hours. The parking lot will be kept clear to respect our neighbors and minimize any potential disturbances, including fights and loitering. Metal detectors and body cams are in use to enhance the security measures in place. We want to thank you for your continued support and understanding as we strive to maintain a positive, safe environment for everyone. We are asking to allow King Bar to keep our CUP conditional use permit for outside rather than revoking our permits and closing our small businesses. We thank you and we are happy to comply.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Chairman Bose and the Planning Commission, welcome new planning commissioners. My name is Ryan Duke with Duke Engineering. I have Shauna Vargo here as our project manager. Happy to answer any questions on the permit.
So they're underway?
So the drawings have been approved, and as they outlined in the staff report, there is a violation of a building that's being permitted. There's one that's being demoed and then a block wall. All of them have an approved status, but they're waiting for fire clearance on the fire flow. That's why I bring her.
So what's the target date then for the
I
beginning?
think the fire flow we get next week, and then, sometime during the month of probably September.
See any problems there?
I don't think so, not from a permitting standpoint. The city of Lancaster has been very helpful,
Very good, thank you.
I think.
Any other speakers on this item?
No other ones, thank you.
No other speakers. All right then. Members, any other questions of staff or the applicant? No? All right then. So, without objection, we'll close the public hearing and have a little conversation, I think. Vice Chair Derryberry brought up the issue of actually 4 choices. Approve staff's report, approve a portion of the staff report, which is 2 items, or do nothing. That's correct?
You can also probably do something else too, if you wanted to.
Obviously, but it's not our practice to legislate from the dais, so we leave that to others in other parts of the world. I'll be kind. So, anyone would like to address anything before we proceed with a motion and a vote?
I'll mention that I did read through all the submitted documents, and I think it was really helpful, and, just want to commend the applicant. You guys submitted a lot of the paperwork for lighting, site security, just a lot of information that was really helpful.
And I think it's worth noting for the commissioners that weren't on the commission when we approved the CUP to begin with. I think we all looked at Mr. Maida in the face and said, you realize how difficult of a task you have. I'm not sure he quite got it a year ago, no offense, sir. I think you probably get it now, because we're always watching. So that's the point of the CUP, is that we need the opportunity to continue to maintain and supervise what's happening at your facility for the safety of the community. So Chief wants to say something, I think.
Please do.
You're always welcome.
Thank
You
you.
never
Good
have to raise your hand.
Good afternoon, and it's great to see our new commissioners up here. I just wanted to add that I went by the King Bar without ownership knowing on Saturday night. And the improvements that they've done security-wise are in existence. In addition, I was happy to see that they did have a marked security patrol car that does patrol around the lot and does park out front right by the door when it's not patrolling. And I'll also add that many of the additions that they mentioned today are actually going above and beyond most other bars in our city. So just wanted to let you know that has been verified.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
I also wanted to make note that I did appreciate seeing all the flyers of all the community work that you do. I really enjoyed seeing that you do contribute back to the community. And I'm glad to hear the chief says that you are working on, upping the security. I know that can be a problem when it comes to trying to bring the community together. As much as you have well intentions, I know there's always a challenge with that. So we expect to, glad to hear that.
If I could add something, I was a little bit concerned about some of the public comment that was submitted by the surrounding mobile home parks concerning existing noise coming from the outdoor events, because as much as we try to promote business as business people, we still have an obligation to be good neighbors. The people who live around there still have to get up and go to work in the morning and conduct their lives, and that's a little bit difficult if there's loud music being played on a Monday or a Tuesday or a Wednesday afternoon. So I hope that we could address some of the noise complaints. There were complaints about drunken, unruly people going through some of the neighborhoods. And so, I do think that we need to have some balance here with respect to the neighborhood as well.
Come right on up.
Your
Welcome
question.
back.
About your question about the noise, of course, I care about my neighborhood. Of course, I know a lot of people have to work, have to wake up early, go to work, like me, 16 hours a day. That's why when I ask him, I say the music, it will be outdoor, it will be shut down at 10 o'clock, not more than 10 o'clock, and it will be only weekend.
And any mitigation for keeping people from parking or walking through these neighborhoods that may be inebriated coming from your facility?
No, not, it can, not, it's far away. It's not affect my neighborhood, no.
Okay.
Any question?
And correct me if I'm wrong, you actually haven't done any outdoor events yet, correct?
No, I don't yet, because the city, when she say you have to stop, I make it one, and after that, honestly, I don't know, we need a license, because I think it's the same license, and they stopped me 3 years ago. I don't know, I don't do anything outside, I follow the law. The city of Lancaster, I don't do anything outside. I'm still waiting the approval. Thank you.
Just to clarify, it is within the commission's authority to call up any conditional use permit with appropriate notice, not just necessarily on a 6-month or 1-year or 5-year timeline. Is that correct?
That's correct. Chair Vos, you're referring to condition number 12. So as it's written, it's essentially a 2-year time span, which would end June of next year. That'll be 2 years. So what we were supposed to do is review this every 6 months. It's just that this review has been taking a few months. And I should also clarify per condition number 14 in regards to the outdoor live entertainment. So once they are 100% compliant, meaning they've received their building permit and they've constructed the block sound wall like they're supposed to, then they would be eligible, if staff were to approve, to have 2 outdoor events twice a month. So that's what's written in the conditions. That's 2 a month.
Very good.
Outdoor.
Thank you. Any further questions from anyone? All right, then. So we have 4 choices or more. If anyone cares to offer a motion, the chair is ready to hear it. Anyone? Well, no motion.
I would motion to allow the continued use of the CUP and the deemed approved status for sale of alcoholic beverages.
I would second that motion.
All right, very good. Just so we understand it. The action would be to allow them to continue their operation pursuant to the conditional use permit and the deemed approved status of their alcohol beverage license, right?
That's correct.
You clear on that? The other part that wasn't said, but it was certainly alluded to, is we're going to be keeping a big eye on you. Assuming this motion passes. All right, then. It's been moved and seconded. Please vote in a minute. There we go.
Technical difficulty again.
I've sat at that seat before. Sometimes you got to take it, unplug it, plug it back in, give it a little wiggle.
There's a technical aspect here. What are we doing? All right, let's just take a voice vote then, please. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Anyone who's opposed? No?
No.
No. All right. Motion passes 6-1. All right, then. Next item on the agenda is a new public hearing, conditional use permit 25-005. So without objection, this public hearing is open. Who is presenting, Ms. Edwin?
Yes.
All right, then, go right ahead, please.
Thank you. Oh. Just one moment, they're getting the presentation up. Uh-oh. Okay, all right, let's get going. All right, good afternoon, Chairman Vose and members of the Planning Commission. My name is Shannon Edwin. I am the case planner for the next project we have before you this afternoon. Conditional use permit number 25-005 for a new affordable apartment project known as Sierra Azul. The proposed project is located on a vacant parcel on the east side of 15th Street West, just north of Avenue K8 and west of the 14 freeway. For context, the Sunset Ridge apartment complex also neighbors the project site, just west of the project site across 15th Street West. The applicant for this project is AMG Associates. They are an affordable housing development group. The project is zoned Commercial Plan Development, or CPD. Multifamily residential is subject to a conditional use permit in commercial zones, which is why the item has been brought before you this afternoon. The project site is surrounded by multifamily residential zoning, including medium-density residential, or MDR, to the west, and high-density residential to the south. Sergeant Steve Owen Memorial Park is also located just southeast of the site, which is the park or PK zoning shown at the bottom right corner of the screen. I also wanted to briefly mention that the AVTA Bus Transfer Center is located at Sergeant Steve Owen. This is considered high-quality transit and is within a half-mile of the project site. The staff report incorrectly references the Metrolink station as being within half a mile of the site, so I just wanted to make that correction and clarification here. This next slide shows the site plan. The project includes a total of 228 units that range from 1 bedroom to 3 bedrooms. The project will be 100% affordable with income limits ranging from 30 to 60% area median income, or AMI. To give some context of what this means that income limits on the project would be between 30 to 60% of the average income for Los Angeles County residents. For your reference, in 2025, this equates to a range of about $45,000 a year to $90,000 a year for a family of 4. And to put this into further context, typical jobs for families that would fall in this range include teachers, retail and food service workers, administrative assistants, and entry-level manufacturing positions. Lastly, I'd also like to note that because the project is 100% affordable, per state affordable housing laws, the project would be eligible for a density bonus as well as concessions and waivers. These allow applicants providing affordable units to request density beyond what is allowed per the zone, as well as exceptions from zoning and municipal code requirements. However, despite eligibility, the project does not include the request for a density bonus or any concessions or waivers, and as proposed, it meets the development standards of the Lancaster Municipal Code. I also want to highlight the host of amenities that are proposed for the project. This includes a clubhouse, pool, playgrounds, picnic and barbecue area, a basketball court, dog parks, and laundry facilities. Here's a look at the elevations. The project includes 2 primary building types. Building A, shown at the top of the screen, will face 15th Street West and serve as the primary frontage of the project. The clubhouse building, shown at the bottom right of the screen, will also be facing 15th Street West. And Building B is the second building type, which will be scattered throughout the site. And a few things I want to highlight on the elevations and architecture of the buildings are the use of earth tones that complement the neighboring community and natural environment, as well as the visual interest that's provided through variations in roof lines and the various types of siding used on the building. All right, next I'll go over the public noticing requirements for the project. To be compliant with the California Environmental Quality Act, or CEQA, an initial study and mitigated negative declaration, or ISMND, was prepared. This document analyzed any potential impacts and outlines required mitigation measures to ensure impacts that are not significant. This document required a 30-day public review comment period. 2 comment letters were received. The first was from the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, or CDFW. The letter requested minor revisions to some of the mitigation measures to improve clarity and better align with CDFW standards. These revisions have been made to the final ISMND, and given that comments were only minor, recirculation of the document is not required. A second comment letter was received from the California Department of Transportation, or Caltrans. This letter was primarily focused on improving multimodal features of the project, such as reduced parking and infrastructure improvements on 15th Street West. Several features are already included in the design of the project, and therefore no changes to the ISMND were found to be necessary. The project also met all public noticing requirements for the public hearing as outlined in the Lancaster Municipal Code. This includes a mailed notice, sign posting on site, and posting in the AV Press. Today, we received 1 public comment letter in response to the public hearing notice from the California Housing Defense Fund, which expressed support for the project. With that, staff recommends the Planning Commission adopt Resolution 25-16, approving CUP 25-005 to allow for the construction of a 228-unit affordable residential development. Myself, as well as representatives from the applicant team, are available for questions. Thank you.
Thank you, very thorough. You did mention we received an uncontested letter, and for those in the audience, that means that the applicant is agreed to all the conditions that staff has proposed. Did you mention the other correspondence, Caltrans, and you did? Okay. All right then. Members, do you have any questions or comments for staff?
Thank you.
None? All right then. If the applicant would care to address us, you're certainly welcome. If you tell us who you are for the record, appreciate it.
Thank you. Can y'all hear me? I want to make sure. Douglas Gibson, Pacific West Architecture. I'm representing the applicant. Jacob Cerruti's in the here with me today. If any questions that come up specific to the applicability, the tax credits, or the LIHTC component of the project. So I'm the project architect. We've been doing tax credit projects for almost 30 years. We've done about, I'd write down the numbers, 146 projects, about 9,400 units, and to date, in the last 20 years, about $1.8 billion in tax credit apartments, senior housing, permanent supportive housing throughout California. So following tonight's hearing, I'm heading up to Hanford and Lemoore. We have a project up there, similar in size and scope. So we're familiar with the building type. This is a unique product line because normally we do gables and hip roofs. This design, we wanted to come up with something that was a little bit more conducive to the site, its closeness to the highway. So we brought the scale down a little bit, but articulated the elevations, which I think fits the context a little bit better. Sunset Ridge, 2-story stucco tile roof. We knew that we couldn't match that context, and so we wanted to come up with something that had a much more dynamic appeal. And I think that the design that we've produced, I really believe, has lasting curb appeal. The project itself, it's 3 stories, walk up, if you will, so there's no elevator buildings components. We have high STC windows that will be spec'd along the freeway side. That's all in compliance with the acoustic report that we've been working through. The project will have a courtyard where the street frontage along 15th, we've placed the building strategically so to kind of act as a little bit of a blocking mechanism. So the center courtyard, when you come in the main drive, you're going to have the community building, and then directly behind it, you'll have the amenities, which would be the pool, pergola, and then throughout the site, we've got 2 separate locations for dog parks, and the graphic didn't show the third, but there is actually a 3rd laundry building on site. Throughout the site, we've also designed circulation to be specifically conducive to fire apparatus, clean line of sight. We're really into eyes on the field, if you will, so residents with courtyard access and views off of their patios. They can see what's going on around them. They know their neighbors. And so that portion of it, I wanted to make sure I brought to your attention that the way the project site has been laid out is really to have that visibility specifically. A couple items besides the STC window. The roofs, because they're flat, we're planning on doing solar energy photovoltaic system on the roof. The units will have condensers, which will be up on the roof, which will be screened by the architectural components. So you won't have compressors down on the ground floor chirping all night next to somebody's bedroom window. The intent is that everything would be able to go up on the roof. High efficiency air conditioning units specifically designed for this climate, the temperature and the use. And then very, very high efficiency, low water use irrigation system. So our landscape architect, Tom Phelps, he's done probably $1.5 billion of these projects with me. So he's really understands WELO and the response and the applicability of low water use in a desert climate. So that portion of the site will be focusing on where residents will be interacting. That's where we'll be using our water budget, if you will. And then those areas that are in more of the perimeter and aren't necessarily conducive to interaction, that's where we'll have the actual small gravel for mulch and a desert climate type of landscape type feature. I'm just have a project down in Brawley, which is very similar climate, obviously, to what you guys have out here. And it's just a beautiful project that's coming online. And I think that using that same type of methodology will be a really nice focus here for the city of Lancaster. So with that, also wanted to thank all of the staff, Shannon in particular. She's really helped us out. It's been a very aggressive schedule because this is a tax credit project. And so they're working with us in a spirit of cooperation has really helped us get to the point where we're at right now. So with that, I'll open up for any questions that the board may have.
Well, thank you for your comments. There may be some. Any?
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Have any other speakers on this item?
No more.
No other speakers? All right then, without objection, we'll close the public hearing and consider a motion.
I'll move that we adopt resolution number 25-16, approving conditional use permit number 25-005 to allow for a 228-unit, 100% affordable multifamily residential development to be constructed in the commercial plan development zone, adopting the initial study mitigated negative declaration, SCH number 2025-070610, approving the mitigation monitoring and reporting program, and authorizing staff to execute and file a notice of determination.
Second.
Thank you. All right, any further questions or comments from anyone? All right, this has been moved and seconded. Please vote.
So we will be conducting a verbal voting call due to technical difficulties. Chairman Vos?
What?
We will be conducting a verbal voting call due to technical difficulties. So Chairman Vos?
What?
What's your vote?
Oh, we're going to do a voice vote then.
Yes, a verbal vote.
So our ACE IT folks can't get this thing fixed? Guess not.
They're doing their best.
All right then. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any noes? Motion passes 7-0. All right. Third item on our agenda is a new public hearing. This is an application by the City of Lancaster for the West Side annexation. North Lancaster Industrial Specific Plan Annexation 24-002, General Plan Amendment 24-002, Zone, Pre-Zone 24-001, Specific Plan 24-002, and a development agreement 24-001. And for the record, we had additional, besides the thousands of pages of documents that we received and reviewed, we had another letter or two, 3 letters actually, from a law firm, Abigail Smith, representing the Sierra Club, a short comment letter from the Center for Biological Diversity, and also a comment from Advocates for the Environment. So that and the staff report and all the supporting documents are in the record. Ms. Swain.
Chairman Vos, Vice Chair Derryberry, and members of the Planning Commission. I am Jocelyn Swain, a senior planner for the city's planning division, and before you this afternoon is the West Side Annexation Project. In this case, the City of Lancaster is the applicant. This project represents the first time in 35 years that the City of Lancaster has proposed to modify its jurisdictional boundaries. The City of Lancaster is currently 94 square miles with irregularly shaped boundaries as outlined in blue. At its widest point, it is 22 miles east-west and 9 miles north-south. While the existing boundaries encompass a lot of land zoned for a variety of uses, much of the undeveloped land is fragmented with small parcels, multiple owners, out-of-country owners, etc. This is particularly true for properties that are zoned for industrial and commercial uses, making it challenging to develop with uses that provide a living wage. As such, the city has proposed to annex property located to the north of the current boundaries. This property is shown outlined in red. On July 9th, 2024, the City Council authorized the filing of the annexation application, which was submitted to the Local Agency Formation Commission of Los Angeles County, or LAFCO, on August 28th, 2024. It is important to note that the project does not actually include any proposed development. The overall goal of the West Side Annexation Project is to lay out the groundwork to help facilitate job-creating industrial development. The proposed annexation area is approximately 7,153 acres, or 11 square miles. This area is shown outlined in yellow on the map and is generally bound by Avenue B, Avenue G, 30th Street West, and Sierra Highway or Edwards Air Force Base. This area is predominantly vacant with a scattering of uses. Notable land uses within the boundaries of the annexation area include the Lancaster Reclamation Plant and holding ponds, Leisure Lakes Mobile Home Park, and Mitchell's RV Park. A specific plan is also proposed on a 1,860 acre subset of the annexation area. This area is bound by 20th Street West, Sierra Highway, Avenue D, and Avenue F8, and is shown in the orangish color. Neither the annexation nor the specific plan approve any individual development projects. We've been working on the West Side Annexation projects for the past 2 years in close collaboration with city staff, the county, and LAFCO. The West Side Annexation project requires 3 main approvals. First, the Planning Commission will recommend a series of entitlements as discussed here. Second, the City Council will make the final decision for the city. And finally, LAFCO will take over the annexation process. Today, the Planning Commission is responsible for recommending multiple approvals to the City Council, including approval of annexation number 24-002, General Plan Amendment number 24-002, pre-zoning number 24-001, Specific Plan 24-002, and certification of the final EIR. Additionally, Development Agreement number 24-001 has also been proposed between the city and a property owner within the specific plan area. Upon approval by the City of Lancaster City Council, the annexation will be processed by LAFCO. As part of the annexation process, the city needs to process a general plan amendment to assign land use designations to all properties within the annexation area. Additionally, the city is required to pre-zone the parcels to match those land use designations. The city reviewed Los Angeles County's land use designations and zoning for the annexation area and matched it to the extent feasible. A couple of items to note with respect to the proposed city zoning. All sanitation district property is proposed as public to facilitate their operations. This is shown in lavender or number 8 on the map. The Leisure Lakes property was owned by the county as heavy agricultural and has a conditional use permits for its operations. The city is proposing to zone the property as mobile home park, making it a by right use. That's shown as number 9 or the dark green on the map. Most properties shown as number 6, which is light blue, or number 10, which is the burnt orange, was zoned by the county as light manufacturing. This is proposed to be light industrial or specific plan. The exception is the area designated as number 6 between Avenue D and Avenue E, where the county currently has it zoned as residential agriculture. The city is also proposing the North Lancaster Industrial Specific Plan to facilitate the development of a variety of job-producing industrial and commercial developments. The specific plan would provide the zoning and development standards for 1,860 acres within the annexation area. The specific plan does not entitle or approve any individual development project. Overall, the specific plan would allow for up to 38.5 million square feet of industrial and commercial development within the plan area. The purpose of the specific plan is to encourage high-quality development that creates jobs while emphasizing thoughtful architecture, appealing amenities, and well-planned landscaping, among other specific requirements. The specific plan is divided into 8 planning areas of varying sizes. Most of the planning areas will permit light industrial and commercial type uses, including warehouses and distribution facilities, restaurants, offices, repair facilities, manufacturing, etc., while planning areas 7 and 8, shown in the dark gray, would allow for more intense industrial type developments. All areas would allow for alternative energy production and for a potential substation. The photographs shown represent the types of buildings that would be allowed within the specific plan, and going from the top left is a smaller sized building, top right would be more of a medium-sized building, and the bottom 2 are more of the distribution facilities that you see popping up throughout the Antelope Valley. Development agreements allow both the city and private developers to receive benefits. A development agreement between the city and MP AV Logistics LLC is also proposed to facilitate development in planning areas 2, 4, 6, 7, and 8. The agreement would be valid for 15 years with the potential for 1 5-year extension. As part of this agreement, the city would receive benefits such as additional infrastructure, trails, public art, and donations to programs and groups, while the developer would receive assurances with respect to the types and rate of impact fees. The city prepared a draft environmental impact report for the West Side annexation and North Lancaster Industrial Specific Plan. This document was both programmatic in nature for the annexation and project-specific to the extent possible with respect to the specific plan area. The EIR was released for public review from May 23rd through July 21st of this year. A total of 18 comment letters were received during the public review period, and responses to these letters were prepared as part of the final EIR released on August 8th. All impacts would be less than significant or less than significant with mitigation, with the exception of air quality, greenhouse gas emissions, and noise. The impacts associated with these 3 issue areas would be significant and unavoidable. No feasible mitigation measures have been identified for noise. Subsequent to the release of the final EIR, 3 additional comment letters were submitted. These letters have been reviewed by staff, and all issues raised in them have been addressed in both the draft and final EIRs. This is the timeline for the approval process. As you can see, today we are at the Planning Commission hearing. Hearings before City Council are anticipated on September 9th and October 14th, with the LAFCO process occurring between September and November. If all approval hearings go as scheduled, the annexation will be filed with the Board of Equalization on December 1st. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission adopt resolution number 2515, recommending to the City Council approval of all components of the West Side Annexation Project. Staff is available to answer any questions. Additionally, the environmental consultant and traffic consultant are available to answer questions.
So that's the fellow that's responsible for the 1,500 pages we had to read. He's hiding, I think. No, he's not. Thank you, Ms. Swain. Appreciate it. There may be some questions of staff before we hear from the public or applicant. Well, you are the applicant, I guess.
I am the applicant.
Sorry. You, they, us, we. Apparently that's, did I cover it all? Close. You have questions? Go ahead if you do.
I don't have a question, I don't have a question, I have an approval.
I see. Well, We'll get to it.
We'll get to it.
Thank you. Members, nothing? All right then. It's not unusual for any large project to consider items that are unavoidable and require overriding conditions. You mentioned air quality, greenhouse gas emissions, and noise.
Correct.
Would you care to expand on that just a little?
Sure. With respect to noise, we're talking about operational noise, not construction noise. There's best management practices that handle construction noise, and there are very few receptors within the area. The issue with respect to operational noise has to do with traffic or roadway noise from the trucks going up and down the roadways. We did look at potential mitigation measures, but there were no feasible ones. Specifically, we looked at rubberized asphalt as a roadway material. That actually is the city standard. So we're already doing that. So that couldn't be used as mitigation. The other mitigation measure that we looked at were sound walls. But that would require sound walls up and down every road you can think of in this area at a height of at least 12 feet. And it still would not reduce the noise impacts of those trucks to a less than significant level. There's no way to really block that. So that's why that's significant and unavoidable with no feasible mitigation measures. With respect to air quality and GHG, there are extensive mitigation measures for both of those topics. I believe air quality has 29 or 32. It's one of those numbers. That's applicable to all types of development projects, both within the annexation area and within the specific plan area. The amount of development and the amount of trucks and other operational considerations make it so that you cannot get it below the thresholds that have been established for air quality and GHG. That does not mean that there aren't a lot of things that are being done to reduce them to the extent feasible.
All right, thank you. Anything, members? No? We have speakers on this, I'm assuming.
Chair votes we have 10.
10.
The first one I have as Peter Gutierrez, followed by Alex.
Good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Chairman Vose and members of the commission. My name is Peter Gutierrez from the Peter J. Gutierrez Law Firm, and I'm here on behalf of my client, Clan Keith Real Estate Investment, and its principal, Charles Keith. So they're the owners of the Leisure Lakes Mobile Home Park that was cited by staff. So Leisure Lakes is a 40-acre, 211-space mobile home park, highly amenitized. It's located sort of at 20th Street West and Avenue E approximately, with the 14 freeway on the west side. You've probably seen it as you drive north on the 14 as a lake feature. Mr. Keith wasn't able to be here today. He wanted to, but unfortunately he had to be at a funeral. He also owns 38 acres directly to the south of that mobile home park and 80 acres on the other side of the 14 freeway. So I'm here to express my client's support of the city's annexation effort, and it would include annexation of Leisure Lakes and his other properties. Lancaster is a city on the move with its many business and residence programs. I think the annexation and specific plan demonstrate the city's commitment to job creation and the recognition that we do need more logistics space and more of these types of uses. As described to you by staff, the specific plan is going to bring some structure to a lot of that development with standards and other features and with mitigation measures built into it. We believe that the annexation and the specific plan will help facilitate new development in the area that will bring new infrastructure into the area, such as water infrastructure and other infrastructure that will be a benefit to Leisure Lakes and other properties in the area. We also believe the annexation will bring much-needed city services to the Leisure Lakes area, including enhanced public safety for the protection of Leisure Lakes property and its residents. Mr. Keith and I happened to be at a city council meeting last month where 3 new police officers were sworn in, and I will tell you that they were all quite impressive, as was the leadership. And I think Mr. Keith is looking forward to calling the Lancaster Police Department his police department. So my client looks forward to becoming part of Lancaster's vision for the future. And let me just close by commending staff. We've had the pleasure of working with Planning Director Garibay and Ms. Swain on several occasions. And I want to say they have been accessible and responsive. And you can't say that about every city planning department, but we believe their professionalism and work ethic is what Lancaster Public Service is all about, and we're happy to be a part of that.
We
Thank
agree
you.
with you.
They're the unsung heroes. I was a public servant for 13 years, so I know you're the unsung heroes.
Thank you for your comment.
Thank you.
Next up is Alex Jarzembowski, followed by Michael DeSano.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Alex Jarzembowski, I represent North Point Development, and we are currently working on a project, an industrial project in the Foxfield area. And I just wanted to say thanks to all of city staff and council we've worked on with to date. You guys all been great to work with, and we'd like to continue to work with you guys also in the annexation area, so thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Michael DeSano, followed by Ralph Vellador.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Michael DeSano. I represent a landowner in the specific plan area and the annexation area, and I just want to support the city in their efforts. The staff has been fantastic. They're technically savvy and they work very hard, so thank you very much for making these great efforts. The city's leadership has continued to be very commendable in their short-term and long-term visions for the city. And I've been working in the city of Lancaster and the Antelope Valley for the last 10 years, and I've seen a lot of growth and see a lot of positive things happening. So I want to commend them and come out here to voice my support for that. This type of planning, opens up the area to have, mortgage-paying jobs for the construction workers behind me, and then the permanent workers in the future. So I know that will be great for the area, and it also helps people stay in the area and work in the area and get their commuting life back to a normal, sane amount of time so they can spend time with their families. So I hope you support this project here and look forward to you guys stewarding this and not the county, so the local stakeholders can really have a say of what's going on. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Ralph Vellador, followed by Nisha Norberg.
Good afternoon, my name is-
Ralph.
Good afternoon, Chair
are you?
Bose, Planning Commission, staff, and folks in the audience. My name is Ralph Vellador. I'm also a United States Army veteran, and proud to be here today. But the leadership you have in the city of Lancaster is the leadership you have in the Antelope Valley. You care about the economic future of the valley, you care about working folks, and that's the type of leadership we need. Folks that are here today have to drive down that hill an hour, hour and a half, because that's what I do, to go to work every day, and then an hour and a half to, who knows, sometimes 3 hours just to get back here to support our families. And the leadership you have, you're trying to bring money up here, private money up here for development up here in the Antelope Valley. I commend you for it, because those are good paying union jobs with good benefited jobs, mortgage paying jobs that allow these folks to go to work every day and come home and spend quality time with their family. We would be able to fill this place up today, but we can't, because everybody has to drive down that hill. These folks are here because they care what's going on in the Antelope Valley, and we commend you for the leadership that you provide here in the Antelope Valley. And we're just excited to see something like this come to fruition, because this means jobs, 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 not only for the construction workers, for the people that come in, and it's just going to expand throughout the valley. Again, I'm totally excited. I know these folks are excited, and we commend you. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Next up is Nisha Norberg, followed by Daniel Trejo.
Afternoon, sir, and welcome.
Good afternoon, Chair and members. My name is Nisha Norbert, Local 433, I'm the newest member. Just like he said, driving down that hill 3 hours, it'd be great to start my career just right down the street. But thank you. I appreciate your approval. You guys have a good day.
Thank you for your comment.
Daniel Trejo, followed by Chris Bonfilio.
Afternoon and welcome.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Daniel Trejo, and I'm here on behalf of the Ironworkers Local 416 to show our strong support of this project and to ask for your supporting yes votes today. This project will engage the local community and hire from the local skilled workforce. This means that our members will earn fair wages, receive health benefits, and will be able to provide a good life and stable future for our families. You see the impact that this project brings not only to the community or to the city, but to the greatness of our family members, you know. For some of us that have to drive far away, it's the quality time that we embrace thanks to these local jobs, you know. And the fact that we get involved in, not only in the community, but in our children's schools, in their sports activities, and quality time with our loved ones, you know. So we commend these development decisions that have been made and the bright and prosperous futures that will come. We are proud to support this project and ask you to say yes when voting today. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comment.
Next up is Chris Bonfilio, followed by Veto Basolto.
Welcome, Chris.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Commission. My name is Chris Bonfilio. I am a union electrician, a proud member of IBW Local 11 here in LA County. And I'm also here with the rest of my union members and labor brothers and sisters to voice our support for this project. It's a project that has made guarantees to work with the community and the local workforce, one that is highly skilled and trained. Our local and the members of the skilled trades, we stand behind projects like this. For me and the IBEW, we have hundreds of other members that live in this community that have to drive, like they said previously, upwards of 100 miles to Los Angeles. They get stuck in traffic, and then they're too tired at the end of the day to spend quality time with their families. I was born and raised in Lancaster. Lancaster is my home. I live just a few miles down the road, so potential projects like this will allow me that priceless time with my family. Projects like this, they can be truly life-changing, and I urge you to vote yes and show your support. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Next up is Vito Basolto, followed by Brenda Higueros.
Good afternoon and welcome.
Hello, thank you. My name is Veta Basuto. I am with the Anchored Church. Our ministry is so happy to support projects like this one with clear community benefits for the people in our congregation who live and work in Lancaster and Los Angeles County. This project will support our local workforce and lead stronger community development. We urge you to approve this project and give those in need of a second chance, opportunity to improve their lives. Thank you. God bless.
Next up is Brenda Higueros, followed by Zach Strasters.
Good afternoon and welcome.
Thank you for having me. Good evening, everyone.
Use your outside voice,
My,
like you were
my
talking
big
to your
boys.
kids.
Okay, I do have four. Good evening, everyone. My name is Brenda Higueros, and I'm here tonight because I care deeply about the future of Lancaster. I moved here in 2021. I used to live in the downtown area in LA. And the people, I care deeply about the people who live here because now I get to live here and I'm a citizen of this city. We all know how important it is to create opportunities, opportunities for steady jobs, for families to build stability, and for our city to continue to grow in a positive direction. This project represents exactly that. It's not just about a construction or a number on paper. It's about the people, the hundreds of people who could find meaningful work both right away and in the years to come. When people have good jobs, they can provide for their families, invest back into our community, and help Lancaster continue to prosper. That's why this project offers a big chance for us and to strengthen our local economy and to give those who are looking for a better future a job here. I truly believe that this project can make a lasting positive impact, and I respectfully ask you to approve it. I spent 2 hours and 50 minutes on the road, which is 140 miles one day in my car. So I will ask you guys to approve this. So for us who have to travel out, you know, it's better for us. We drive 30 minutes down there, and it's just easier for everyone. It's, you know, it's gonna help us here, people that live here.
Thank you for your comment.
Thank you.
And the last speaker we have is Zach Strasters.
Good afternoon, sir, and welcome.
Hey, good afternoon. Happy to be here. Zach Strasters, Creed. So, you know, obviously when you have 100% community participation and involvement and approval, it's pretty easy to see that these developers have done their due diligence to reach out to make sure that all the local residents are satisfied. And you see a broad swath of community organizations and individuals that are coming out in support. So quick rundown, what Creed does is we take a really fine tooth comb look at a project to try and determine whether or not it's a benefit or a boon to the community that it's being proposed in. We don't encourage the dais to rubber stamp a project. We take a really, you know, hardcore look, and we can sometimes be a developer's worst nightmare. However, in this case, we're overwhelmingly in support. 3 quick reasons. First of all, as you've seen, authentic community support. These are guys and gals that are pouring their heart out right here at the podium and trying to encourage you to consider it. It makes a big lifetime impact. With the scope of the project, we're talking not only about personal transformation for some of these folks' lives, but we're talking about generational impact, and we're talking about regional impact. 7,000 acres being annexed into the city is not only a huge benefit for their lives, but tons of other people. And I don't even think we can really quantify how many people are going to be directly impacted. Second of all, we want to take a look at the way that it helps to grow local economy. CREED stands for Equitable Economic Development. And so when we look at the way that this project brings in jobs, not only jobs that will be in the construction phase, which because of the scope of the project, again, we're talking about many years, but then also the long-term jobs. Because with the footprint of the project, you're talking about some tenants that are going to bring total transformation. So this overcomes any type of opposition that says, well, what types of jobs? This is any type of job that could be brought in by a tenant, you know, anything from retail to, you know, manufacturing, whatever's covered in the scope, the entitlements. And then obviously we want to look at infrastructure, you know, the type of infrastructure development that comes with this size of annexation, and then we're not approving an annexation that's not going to come with actual tenants. You know, so this project has a lot to offer. Obviously, as the project gets built out, the city will be extremely happy that they gave approval today, and Creed asked for just that. Please approve. Thanks, and God bless you.
Thank you for your comment. That's all the speakers? No more? All right, thank you. Any further questions or comments from members? Go right ahead.
I'd just like to thank you guys for coming out and participating tonight. I know how nerve-wracking it can be to stand up before a body like this and say what you need to say. So thank you so much for coming out and making your feelings known on this project. I know that anything that is creating good-paying jobs in this community is something that I'm going to be in favor of. And so I just wanted to tip my hat to you guys for caring enough to spend some time in front of us today.
Anyone else? No. All right then, without objection, we'll close the public hearing, consider a motion.
I'd be happy to make that. I vote that we adopt Resolution 2517, recommending to the City Council the certification of the final environmental impact report for the West Side annexation and North Lancaster Industrial Specific Plan, and adoption of the findings and statements of overriding considerations and mitigation monitoring and reporting program, approval of annexation number 24-002, annexing 7,153 acres from unincorporated Los Angeles County into the City of Lancaster, approval of the general plan amendment 24-002, and pre-zone number 24-001 in accordance with Exhibit 1 approval of the specific plan number 24-002, and approval of the developmental agreement number 24-001 to establish specific developmental rights.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you. Anything further from anyone? Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Congratulations, City of Lancaster.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Thank you all. That concludes our action items this evening. This afternoon, I should say. Comes time for our Community Development Assistant Director's announcement.
Chair Vos, just wanted to clarify, I'm not sure if it's before or after me, but we do have one more speaker on non-agendized items.
Well, we're not there yet.
All righty, that's my cue. Good afternoon, Chair Vos, members of the Planning Commission. I am Hai Nguyen. I'm the Assistant Director for the Community Development Department. A lot of changes are happening. First and foremost, the warmest welcome to our new commissioners, Commissioners Burke, Hernandez, and Latanzi. Looking forward to working with you all. Just want to shout out the former commissioners, Burden, Loa, and Moore, for their years of public service on this commission. Quick staffing update. You may be aware, but Warren Bennett, our building official, officially retired a little bit ago. Warren started with the city 22 years ago as a building inspector and worked all his way up to the city's building official. So we're definitely going to miss him. But the world keeps spinning, and today we have someone named Matt Wyatt, who's our new building official. He started today, and we're all pretty excited about that. He's sitting over there. He's the guy in the beard. For our next meeting, which is scheduled for September 15th, you just saw the west side annexation. How about another one? This time on the east side of the city. We'll be bringing that to you and maybe a couple other projects. So do pay attention to your emails from Viviana, and as always, staff is always available for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This brings us to public business from the floor. At this portion of the agenda allows for individual the opportunity to address the commission on any subject regarding city business. Under state legislation, however, no action can be taken on non-agendized items. Members of the public should be aware of this when addressing the commission regarding items not specifically referenced on the agenda. If you have those comments tonight, I hope you would fill out a speaker's card and share that with us so we can call you forward when it comes time.
Chair
Do we have
Vos,
any
I do have one speaker card for
We do.
David Paul.
Mr. Paul, how are you, David?
Good, sir.
Chair Vos and Commissioners, good afternoon. And I do apologize for being absent. I don't get out as much as I used to, and you miss the dynamics of what makes this city go. There's a lot of nuts and bolts issues that most people never consider, but I'm glad you all are here to do that. And first, I want to say to my friend Denise Latanzi and Ben Burke, welcome. This is so neat to see you. I love you guys, and I also wanted to comment about Commissioner Hernandez, and she was so kind to me the first time I met her that that'll stay with me forever, how you helped me. Thank you, my friend.
You're welcome, David.
Chair Vos, you know, they say that you shouldn't meet your heroes, but with you, that's a rare exception, sir, and that's why I came today. I saw you out in the parking lot, we talked, and I committed to come, and I wanted to do that because your service is just extraordinary, and I appreciate you so much. You know, I don't walk as well as I used to. The best investment I ever made in my home in Lancaster was a fence around my yard to keep the solicitors away from knocking on my door. And I have a gate. I've pushed that gate 10,000 times back and forth, closing it. Today I got out there, and I don't have anyone home to help me, so no one can push it. And I started pushing it, and I fell. And my chest hit the part of the fence. I thought I tore my shirt, and it hurt. But then I realized I have bigger problems. You know, in an emergency, all these things come into your head. And as I'm holding on to this thing, I'm realizing the gate keeps slipping. And I have my choice. I can fall on my knees and ruin my best pair of pants, or I can see how I can maybe stop with my toe. Anyway, it was tense there for a minute. I hit the ground and I said, okay, I'm not severely injured, so I get up and I proceeded. But I just want you to know, sir, that much effort went into coming here today because I gave you my word. But I am glad I did, because this city is incredible, and I love watching it work. And again, I've been remiss for not coming, but you know, I usually come to meetings like this so that at least there's somebody to make a public comment about how good you all are and how much benefit comes to the city from these proceedings. So that's it. That's all I have to say. I'm glad to come, and I'm glad to be reminded of how important your work is and how critical it is to our future. So thank you all, and my best to you.
Thank you, David. You're very kind.
Thank you.
Now, why aren't comments like that found on social media very often? That would make the city a lot brighter, I think. Thank you, David.
All right, then. That brings us to commission agenda items, if there are any. Anyone care to have anything to say or suggest adding anything to a future agenda? No? All right, then. So then we will stand adjourned to our September 15th, 2025 meeting here in these chambers at 3:30 p.m.